is good.
Sit here.
All right. So, obviously, the two most important ones are the ones who are
Right, exactly. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Let's introduce yourselves.
My name is Kat Brown, and I played Capri in Ninja Storm.
My name is Katrina Devine, and I played Mara in Ninja Storm, and I played Cassidy Cornell in Dino Thunder.
And they are prompt and arrive on time.
Exercise.
Yes, we should get points for that, for arriving on time. Yeah.
While we're waiting for the quick question, how close do you come as friends during
I can't stand
I don't
her.
like her at all.
Yeah, we don't like each other whatsoever.
You guys are late.
Yeah, you guys are late.
It's because he's from Australia.
Oh, yeah. We were inseparable, even though we didn't want to be. So, sorry for the lady.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so hey, I'm Adam Tumanen, aka the Crimson Thunder Ranger, aka Hunter Bradley, come all the way from Australia. My beautiful wife who's just come with me, sitting down there, Stephanie, hi.
Jorgito Vargas Jr., Blake Bradley.
Yay, party!
Can I just say,
Silent
I'd just like to say, Adam, on behalf of Katrina and I, we never knew how to pronounce your last name, so that's awesome. We just learnt that now.
Tuominen. So
I thought it was Tuominen.
Dad's from Finland. Went over to Australia when he was 10 years old.
From Finland.
From
Yeah.
Finland.
Finland,
From
shout out.
representing from Finland.
Represent. Okay, well, I'll start off, I guess. Because Jorge and I played the bad guys, and obviously for the first 3 episodes we weren't really involved. We were just in the outskirts. We got a lot of time to meet each other and establish a relationship, which wasn't hard to do. I mean, it happened just like that, and it sort of translated on the series, I guess. If you saw, we did sort of fall into that brothers relationship fairly quickly, and yeah, so for me and him, and for the other girls, like they were there the whole time. But everyone on the set had a great relationship. We all got along really well. But I can't speak for them. But that's for me, in my way. I definitely loved everyone on the set, and we all got along really well, which made it very easy to go out there for 15 hours a day and shoot a series.
We have a no eye contact clause happening right now.
Please don't look.
Yeah, no eye contact.
This is Jorgito Cruz.
No, lots of love for everybody. It was always good. Most of us actually were roommates at one time or the other with each other, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And Kat and I have the same name, so we got to sit. And we knew each other in the industry, but hadn't worked together, had we?
No.
And they said, okay, we'll call you by your middle names because you're both Katrina. And so I said, oh, my middle name's Marie. And she said,
So
no
is mine.
way, so's mine. So we're both Katrina Marie.
Yeah.
So
Oh, you guys have the same name.
we have
Yeah,
the
we
same
have the same
middle
middle
name.
name.
I know. Hi, I'm Kat. Do you remember? We did a show
spent
together.
A couple years together.
Yeah.
That's right.
So yeah, we get on like
Terribly.
we get on brilliantly, actually. But she's a cool girl.
Oh, now I have to say, so is she.
And I am.
She is.
But do you guys have any questions?
Exactly.
Tech 1 2, tech
So
tech
much
1
better.
2.
Oh, now I want to sing.
Turn it on. Testing. Oh well, we'll be loud.
There you go.
Thank you. Sorry, I tend to speak loud like that. So this question is, I want to ask Katrina Devine.
Get back a little bit.
Katrina Devine, how it feels like to play two different characters in like two different seasons of Power Rangers, like between Mara and Cassidy, and how crazy is it that she gets to be one of the few actors that actually gets to do that kind of thing?
Well, thanks. It was so much fun. When I did Ninja Storm, apparently I was a villain, but they thought I was pretty funny. I actually didn't intend to be funny, but but people laughed, so that was good. And then so they wrote the part of Cassidy for me, which they made me audition for. And yeah, I know, right? So they told the casting agent that they were looking for someone like Katrina Devine. So I went along, and that's what the casting agent told me. We're looking for someone like Katrina Devine, and I thought, well, I better get this part, because if I fail at being myself, then that's not going to be very good. But my favorite character to play, though, was probably Mara, only because we got to, well, probably because I got to work with her.
Yeah.
I just have to say that. No, but we got to improvise a lot. Like, a lot of the lines were just her and I playing off each other.
Unscripted.
Yeah. That probably
Most of
came
it.
across. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see.
Check 1, 2, 2, 2,
Well,
check 1.
first things first, I just want to say that Ninja Storm was one of my dad's favorite seasons. He really enjoyed it, and he really enjoyed you two together, and he also enjoyed you and Cassidy and Marla, yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, here's a question for the Thunder Rangers. With how well the Blue Series comics are doing, would you like to see a comment of you and have a doing in the vein of Tommy also, like have an evil
The bad guy.
They actually have one, I forget the number of the episode or which number it is, but they have the helmet of the Thunder helmet and Tori's helmet on the ground.
Yeah,
I'm waiting to see my helmet.
It's the Lord Dracon picture where he's got the throne and then all the helmets around. And I'm right up next to the throne, which makes me feel like I was a lot harder to defeat. Don't you reckon? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks
You're
for
welcome.
having us.
Yay.
Yeah, boom.
My question is, what was your favorite thing about being bad? Because all four of you got to be the bad guys for it.
That's true.
Boys were villains, and girls were all.
Yeah,
What's
we
your
were all
favorite thing about being bad? My favorite thing about being a bad guy is you don't have to play by the rules.
Well,
You get to break the rules.
I might start with, I never thought the hunter was bad. I just thought that he was
Misunderstood.
fighting for something he believed in, which was his parents. So I didn't see him as bad as an actor. I guess he was bad because he was taking on the good Rangers, but he thought that they'd wronged him. So really, was he bad?
Yes.
Wow. I feel like I wasn't bad. I was just misunderstood.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Exactly what I mean.
Story of my life.
I don't know, and we were bad, but we were laughably bad.
Yeah.
I mean, we got it wrong the whole time, and that was so much fun. We had so much fun.
I tried to be good for a bit.
Yeah.
Tried.
But that, wasn't that a
Didn't
lie?
work out
didn't
very well,
stick.
but I
It didn't
tried.
stick.
One episode, okay, but still I tried.
So, I had a question for the audience. Stunt scenes. How much of the training of acting is you, and how much is the stunt double?
Well, yeah, go.
Koichi Sakamoto and the
Amazing.
all-action stunt team that he formed. Those guys are like, they're real ninjas. They were really breaking bones on set.
Yeah,
Like
they were
literally.
extraordinary.
Literally.
Yeah,
They're
yeah, so,
amazing.
those were real moves happening. They would let us do a lot. They would let us get in there and do a lot, quite a bit. Oh, look who's joined.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Now they show up.
A little bit.
Sorry we're
like
late, guys. We're so sorry.
We reunion together, don't we?
We just reunion again.
We're on the same clock.
I'll
time.
finish off that question, though. I'll quickly finish off that question. We actually did 2 weeks of training, martial arts training, when we first started the show. So we got graded on whether or not we could do the fight scenes, and there was a few that we could do, but we never really got to do any of the wire work because they wrapped us up in cotton wool. Because if we got injured, then production would stop. So I think the one injury that happened to an actor on our set was Pua. He dislocated his arm, his shoulder in a fight scene doing a really innocuous block, but they got it on camera, and it was quite interesting to see because you actually see it go out and just goes, oh, what? So yeah, they didn't let us do a lot of the really full-on stunts, but we did do quite a bit of the civilian fight scenes, yeah.
I just want to add a little story. Katrina and I didn't do a lot of fighting, and we were pretty and stuff, but not so much the fighting. But I did get injured on set, and I don't know if you guys remember, I was in a portaloo, like a portable toilet, and I had taken off my, pants and all the layers of clothing, and I looked for the first time. Have you ever noticed those little, there was a little machine in the corner, and I went and had a look. I went really close, and I thought, what's that? And it squirted sanitizer into my eyes, high-grade sanitizer into my eyes. I literally had to stumble out of the portaloo, not really a lot of clothes on, and have received medical attention because I got that. So don't look at those things. No, ever.
So we have one question for Jeff in the audience, which was, what's it like being evil?
It was really easy. I don't know, if I had the choice to play good or evil characters, I don't know, evil characters are actually, they're easier to play, right?
Loads of fun.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. Next question over here. Let's put them around. Hi.
How you doing?
Since we have Rangers from both teams here, I was wondering if you guys could talk about what it was like filming the team-up episodes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Well, think about it. It was cool to be with these guys and shoot with these guys, but then we got another whole cool group to shoot with as well. That was even better.
Yeah, it was. I just remember when they showed up, it was just really rad. We all had a good time. Everyone asks that question at conventions about which was your favorite team up, and I always hear it's the Ninja Storm Dino Thunder team up. You know.
And I don't know if you saw that morph that we all did together, but it was epic.
Mm-hmm. Super epic.
Oh, and it also has legendary JDF.
I still remember how hot the fireworks were.
Certain somebody, a JDF.
Oh yeah.
Whew.
That always helps too.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was so fun. It was
Dream
so
come
fun.
true.
It was the best.
Let's think more on that. What's the most fun memory you have from your time on the show?
For me, just being a part of the show. I mean, I grew up watching it as a kid. I had Green Ranger pajamas. I used to be late to school because the show ended right when school started, so I'd be running to school at the end of it. So for me, it was literally a dream come true because as a kid, I would tell people, yo, I'm going to be a Power Ranger when I grow up, and it literally happened. So, yeah.
Nailed it.
I reckon for me, the best part was where you put on the full Ranger outfit and you look at yourself in that mirror and you go, damn, I'm a superhero. That was cool.
For me, the best part was working with Kat. Sorry, we had so, and I know, isn't that nice? We had so much fun because our characters played so many, like we were Irish dancing champions, and we were the.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Karaoke was hilarious. The singing.
And hippies.
The hippies. I would like to say though that everything, and has to come up now. Everything that had to happen that was bad, ketchup in the face, spiders on the body, everything I did, and somebody sitting next to me didn't do. So I'm still a little bit dark about that, but if you think back about it,
yeah.
tell her the story about the spiders.
I know, but after you did all the things on Ninja Storm, because I didn't do them in Ninja Storm, they made me do all of them in Dino Thunder and more. I was covered in everything. Everything you could cover a human being in, I was covered in.
I actually had, when we faced our fears, and I had spiders crawling. I mean, these were large spiders, the ones that they used in arachnophobia, and they're revolting. Now, I thought that Katrina had agreed to do it, and so I said yes. And then I rock up to set, and she's like, I didn't say yes to that. So
spiders on me.
So it was just me. Even my makeup artist didn't want to be in the room. It was horrific. No. So.
Well, I got a funny story about that. When I first auditioned for Ninja Storm, I was actually cast as Dustin. So I was cast as the Yellow Ranger. But at the time, my agent said, no. And I was like, well, I'd love to do this. So then I got cast because they cast someone else and recast it. So I think if I was going to do it, I'd like to be a Yellow Ranger.
I'd go with a chrome. Like a chrome.
Epic.
Chrome ranger.
Gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, gold.
I want to be pink. I think it would be cool to be white, to get to play evil, to be honest. So, yeah, that would be my choice.
Evil pink ranger.
It's a pretty cool helmet.
Yeah, I love my helmet. You know what? In all honesty, I really like the name of your show. I would have loved to have been on Ninja Storm. That or RPM. There's something I love those guys too, and it was like an apocalyptic.
Yeah.
It just, and they all had these cool like cars.
What color would you be?
You could have put me in any color. I'd have been happy. That goes for Ninja Storm too. Yeah.
Jeff looks good in any color.
Thanks, Kevin.
I want to be silver or gold.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah?
Same.
That would be cool. Yeah, definitely. Silver or gold.
Question is for Trent.
Yes.
Do you wish they could have like follow at the same time that you actually remain evil until near the end and then he sacrifices himself to save the earth?
Good question.
You know, that is a good question. I love that question. I would have loved for them to keep me evil longer. I remember Doug Sloan, our producer, was trying to get them to do that, but Disney wasn't. The Sentai version was really dark. If you remember, like my character bleeds out at the end.
No.
It was so epic. I loved playing my part, but I can't compete with what he did on that show because they got to do so much fun things, you know? Yeah. I think I answered your question, right? I did? Yeah, okay.
Hi again. I want to ask another question. This time is mainly Kevin because he was the only one in that episode. What was it like with Lost and Found in translation? Like, I know it was made because of this whole Japan thing that the network was trying to promote, but what was it like making that episode? How different things would have been had that episode actually been adapted into the straightforward Power Rangers episode rather than just being a comparison between the Sentai and the Power Rangers, like a comparison between Japan and America?
I thought that episode was really cool because I actually learned a lot watching it. I didn't know that the counterpart was so dark, and it was really cool. I enjoyed it, you know.
It was dark, but also really silly.
Yeah, it was fun. I had a lot of fun doing it. We got to watch like 2 episodes while we were doing it, so yeah, I had a blast.
Our next question is, again, for Jeff, just not for today.
Okay.
Apparently you weren't told you were white at first.
No.
Explain.
They wanted me to be a purple ranger.
Lavender.
And I was like,
lavender.
that's like the one color I don't look
Lavender
good in. And then they gave me white. That's a true story. No, I didn't know. I auditioned for Trent. Trent Hernandez actually is how it started. And then after my first week there, they told me that I was going to be the White Ranger, and I couldn't. They had to film all my stuff inside for the first part because they didn't want leaks at the time. Imagine now having to do that. That would be so hard to do.
Yeah.
It was actually a cakewalk to do that back then.
Yeah, it was actually the same for me. I didn't know I was going to be blue until I got there.
All right, next question.
So, Dino Thunder was pretty cool in that, like, Jason David Frank actually came back to do it. I don't know if you ever watched, when you watched Mighty Morphin, what was it like to hear that he was coming back and you were actually going to get to do Rangers?
I was so giddy. I think I grabbed him and like shook him, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!"
He did. He really did.
I was super excited, and the funny thing is, I didn't know he was going to be in our season. So I got to New Zealand, and it was our very first table read. We were going to read through the first script, and I saw him, and I was like, "No!" And so I ran up to him, and I was like, "Oh my God, dude, like I had your pajamas when I was a kid. Like I had green. This is so cool for me." And he just looks at me and he's like, "Yeah, thanks for making me feel old." So that was literally our first conversation.
Yeah, I was lucky. I just missed Mighty Morphin. And then I met Jason. So to me, I just met this guy named Jason who was really cool, you know? If I had known the history of Tommy Oliver at the time, I would have panicked because our characters have this similar trajectory. I would have not wanted to follow in his footsteps if I knew back then. Thank you. Thank you.
For me, it was Game On, where I get stuck in the video game, just because I myself am a gamer, and I really enjoyed Bully for Ethan a lot too.
Mine is, I think it's called Leave It to Beevil, where Mara was dreamt that she was a ranger and she was tricking Dustin into thinking that she was nice, and then right at the end she turned back into Mara, which I thought was really sad, actually.
I really enjoyed, and I can't remember the name of it, but I'm sure you guys will, the episode where we were hippies. I love Lothar. What a great, that was so much fun, that episode. I had a blast on that. Was loads of fun.
Mine would be Pork Chopped, I think.
Oh, yeah.
That's best. 'Cause I think we had the most
the
fun
popcorn
on
box?
that. That's the popcorn box.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I also hid like little Easter eggs in there. If you go back and rewatch it, when Tori's ordering popcorn off you, I'm in the background. Yeah, I'm in the background doing
She's so awesome.
doing the
Karate Kid.
the Karate Kid kick, the swan kick, and I'm like, I don't know if they're gonna let that slide. Someone's gonna come back and say you can't do that, but it happened, and it went in there, and it's one of my favorite. And also that episode, all the stunnies got to dress up as some '70s funk kung fu fighters. And we just had a blast. Everybody went there, they're all dressed up like that. I think Pork Chop would be my favorite.
My favourite is only because of one scene, but it's the boxing bopperoo where Pura and I are challenging each other as who should be the Red Ranger. That scene where we fought on the beach, we did most of that, the two of us, and that morning just shooting that fight scene was incredible. Both of us got to do most of it, and yeah, we had a lot of fun shooting it down there.
I love burning at both ends. It was just where I got to play around with the other Rangers. It was nice. Yeah.
Hey guys, this question's for Adam. That episode where you guys did the talent show, do you still remember your run?
I do. You want me to do
He
it?
actually does, because I heard him doing it last
You
night.
gonna scratch the decks for me, man?
Okay.
Let me-
Off you go.
I gotta find the record.
Me on more hunter, that be member of the Blake. We may not look alike, but make no mistake. Beat spins and scratches for my lyricals matches. My wicked rhyming technique is hardly tongue in cheek. We make all of the rappers look like 20s flappers. We're the Motos bros, we take no prisoners. We're the Moto bros, we got 1 million listeners with the Moto bros. And you can be one too. All you gotta do is Moto Kung Fu.
Hey!
Boop, boop, boop. Hilarious. I'm pretty sure one day I walked in on Glenn doing it and he'd taken most of his clothes off and he was sweating in there doing the actual moves.
You're not lying. It was so hot in there, man.
Yeah, so
Did it get hot? But so you know, it's
I wore pajamas. Yeah.
Okay.
No, really.
they used to do it. They used to do it in sections. But I said to him, you know what? Play the thing and I'll do it to the recording rather than just following little bits and pieces. I'd say, play the whole thing and I'll actually do it while the video's rolling. And I would just do it while it was rolling. And more often than not, you start to do it physically in there. And yeah, it was a lot of fun, to be honest. I had a whole episode, which was when I was taking everyone on by myself, taking on all the other rangers, especially even him. And I did 5 hours in one day of ADR.
But you just glazed over Glenn with his clothes on
Yeah,
in the studio. Did anyone?
No, I'm still, that's where I am.
We should have 5 more questions regarding that statement.
So he had a scorpion?
Motor Jones character?
Yeah, Motor John, yep.
So cool.
Yeah, right. So that did happen to me, but that was when they drained the power out of me and
Cam came in and did his move and like got out Scorpion.
yeah.
But in the Sentai issue, or your counterpart, he had the Scorpion still inside of him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, maybe it is in there.
Yeah, what we figure out for most people is the majority of the casts up until Samurai weren't given a lot of access to the Sentai, so most of them aren't going to be able to answer lots of questions about how to get these counterparts and want to.
Yeah.
It wasn't until Samurai that we became tradition to have them start watching the Japanese.
Yeah, we would have liked to have had that opportunity, to be
Yeah,
honest.
that
'Cause
would have been great.
when I came out and learned about the Sentai side of it, you know, I was really a little bit bummed out that we didn't get to see that sort of stuff and get that backstory and the Japanese original. Yeah.
Koichi he would have a few episodes of the original Japanese, and he would take us in the office and be like,
That was
"Okay,
back
this
when we
is
still
what's-
had
this is what's
VHS.
going on." Yeah, we shot on film.
So both Dino Thunder and Thunderstorm had some amazing motorcycle scenes to it. Did you ever have a chance to actually drive motorcycles?
Well, when we first started, they actually gave us kind of a test to see how good we were at riding. And there's this one story that we have that they put us on the bikes, and he's like, "Okay, I want you to go do a figure 8 and come back, break. I want to see how you do." Started up the bike. We're on this beautiful beach in New Zealand, in Auckland, and started it up, started to go, and something took me over, and I opened it up, and I just lost my mind. The next thing I know, I'm crying, I'm screaming, I'm matching the speed with the waves. It's just so beautiful. I was just like, I couldn't stop. And then eventually I found my way back.
No, we were all sitting there going, "Where's he gone? Where's he gone? He's not here." It took a while to get back too.
Yeah. So that's probably a good one.
Ethan was supposed to ride a motorcycle in the show. I don't know if I actually rode it though on camera, but for 2 months before we started filming, I'd have to have lessons for at least an hour a day. And they'd always tell me to wear a helmet, but I would always just jump on the bike and take off and make production just chase me around the set while I was just on the motorcycle. I was bad.
I used to actually take your bike too on our breaks. It was so fun.
Doug was a big fan of motocross, so he was a huge fan. So I think the producer always found a way to kind of like incorporate it a lot.
Yeah, sometimes when we would be on the bike and then we'd have to make out like we took off, the bike wouldn't be on, but we'd have to act like the bike was on, and then we'd push off and just the bike wasn't on, but we'd sort of just go out of camera and they'd make it look like we were riding the bike. So no, we weren't allowed to ride them on camera, but as Jorge said, we did have a bit of training down on the beach, which was amazing.
Next question.
My question is for Hunter and Blake. What was it like to go down to the depths of evil to get the power point in the samurai mode then to join the other
Rangers?
Rangers
Yeah.
on Power Rangers Dino Thunder?
Well,
When we abseiled down into the abyss, that was cool. I actually really enjoyed the fight scene we had down there as well. You know how we saw all the monsters down there, and we got to abseil down, and then we had this massive fight scene. That was one of my favourite fight scenes that we did with these guys on Dino Thunder. So I really enjoyed that side of it because we had that story where we had to go down and try and save everyone because the other guys were being bad.
You know, even also in the abyss, the way they shot it and how like that's the one thing. Well, all the locations that they have. I mean, the Kiwis, they live there, so I mean, they saw the places. Every location we shot was beautiful.
Incredible.
Beautiful.
Yeah, like that one scene of the two of us walking off on the beach. It was a little Lord of the Rings type of action happening.
Thanks for the question.
So my question is directed to Kevin, aka the Blue Dino Ranger here. Now I know for a fact that you're still remember we filmed a season ago, there's usually something cool that happens on set. So my question to you, Kevin, is what you say is the funniest thing
One of the funniest things I seen on set. Jason played a lot of pranks, so I'm gonna have to say it was probably one of his pranks or one of the pranks that I played on Jeff, I think was really good, but that wasn't really on set, so.
He never did that. He never did that.
The first few months we started filming, he wasn't in the show, so he was basically in New Zealand on vacation, and I was getting up every day going to work, so I was jealous, I'm not gonna lie. So one day I called him at 4 in the morning and I was like, hey, we're downstairs in the van, like you work today. Where are you? We're waiting. And he was like, I don't work today. I could hear that he just woke up. He's panicking and I can hear he's ruffling for clothes. And I'm like, dude, hurry up. Like we've been waiting. Like we gotta go. So then I hang up the phone and we're already on our way to work at this point. So he calls me back and he's like, I'm downstairs. No one's here. And I was like, yeah, you don't work today.
Yeah, real funny, guys. Enjoy it. That was sneaky. He was sneaky. I fell for it.
Next question. Hey guys, this is
Where's
for
this?
the Katrinas. Yeah. How was it like to be the minions of the season?
The minions. I like that.
Buddy.
Okay, minion
Banana.
one. How was it?
How was that?
It was good. We were comic relief, I feel, more than anything else. So after a bit of seriousness, we were something to laugh at.
We actually came up with this word, which we said a lot. We said
Cha.
cha the whole time. And so then they actually scripted that in, and it's spelled TCHA, in case you're wondering. But,
well, we got to make up our own language.
Yeah.
It was great.
It was a blast. We had the best time.
Chubo.
That guy was a butt.
Yeah.
I voiced one of the monsters. Anyone remember the name? Trying to remember the name.
What did he do?
Who did you say?
Yeah, I did one of the monsters.
You voiced a monster?
Yeah, he voiced the monster, yeah.
There you
Who was it?
Thank you. Ding, ding, ding for 200.
What was it? Sorry?
Starvark.
When did you voice him?
Right, yeah.
I didn't
In our
realize that was
season?
you.
Yes.
I don't know, but my favourite monster was just one big massive tongue that would turn us into
that's
stabs.
yeah.
That guy. Yeah.
One big massive tongue.
Oh, my character had a big long tongue that she could like catch things with. Did you guys ever see that?
I never saw that at all.
No, it totally happened. Yeah,
Actually,
no,
I
I'm
take
not
that-
making it up. I didn't dream it.
I take that back. My favourite monsters were Mara and Capri.
Thank you. That's what we were
Yeah,
waiting for.
Absolutely.
Go for it. Go, Kev. Kevin's got a really great answer here.
My favorite is probably Zeltrex and Mesogog.
Mesogog.
Yeah. Latham is just amazing.
Oh, yeah, I loved working with Latham. Yeah, Mesogog, definitely, for me.
Next question. What's up, guys?
What's up?
Hi.
Over there. Hey.
Kira and Sawyer were offered to do the Operation Overdrive episode. If any of you guys were offered to do it, would you be in the cast of that?
So the Operation Overdrive episode is reunite. Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, Hunter be back.
Yes.
We'd all be back.
We so would be.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the invite. Anyone else?
Yeah, once a ranger, always a ranger.
Yeah, once a ranger, always a ranger. Or either space ninja.
Hi. I wanted to know if you could make a decision between the two of you, but if you could make a cast that wasn't a ranger, which one would it be?
If
Maybe one of the other characters this season who wasn't a ranger, wasn't one of the cast, which one would you
Mara and Capri. They should have been rangers. Yeah.
Katrina, Purple Ranger.
Yeah, I think
Pink
both of them
Ranger.
should have been Rangers. Yeah, I think the two would have been really cool.
I
Partner
think
Ranger.
Graham McFarlane would have made a pretty good Lothar.
Lothar.
But in guinea pig version?
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
My question is for all of you. What do you think your characters would be doing today?
Oh yeah, actually, I got asked that question in the last. I reckon Hunter would be an MMA fighter in the cage.
Nice.
I feel like Kevin's character, because he's like a multi-billionaire in the software, would
Oh, yeah.
probably
I feel
be
like I work for
producing one of
Apple
my
now.
art shows.
Ethan definitely works for Apple.
No, you would have, you wouldn't be working, you would be Apple's competition. You would be like Ethan. That's it, you know.
Blake would be making things up to Tori.
Still. I think we might have a comedy show like way off Broadway or a musical or something.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That sounds about right.
Oh, wow, it's funny. I've got one
Merchandise?
toy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, toys.
I might have forgotten to give back everybody's morphers. By mistake on purpose. Could have happened.
I borrowed my suit.
Oh, you borrowed.
You got
I
your
borrowed
suit.
it.
Awesome.
I wish
I
I
tried to
borrowed
return
some
it,
stuff.
but I
Yeah.
couldn't.
I
borrowed a
forgot to
couple of
borrow
things.
things.
I borrowed it.
I tried. They wouldn't let me.
Yeah,
Me and Jason borrowed
I
together.
had to buy my own
They keep
toy
knocking
on
on your
eBay.
door.
Are you serious?
I've still got it in the box, and I've had it for 14 years. So I bought that off eBay for $65 back in 2004.
Oh, that's cute.
Give them.
Well done.
They didn't give me one. No.
I have a 9-year-old boy, Sebastian, over there, and I had
Hi,
like
Sebastian.
he's that age now where I'm like, okay, I got these toys. And I'm trying to track him down now. I wish I held on to them now though.
So no, not much.
Short answer.
A full suit and helmet.
Yeah, my full suit.
Absolutely.
I'd want a monster suit would be pretty
Also,
cool.
for some reason, I want a Triptoid suit. I don't know why. The Triptoids were awesome.
Or the glider cycle as well, yeah.
Because I borrowed my suit, I wish that I was able to keep the armor. That I had the official armor to go with it all.
3D printing.
Yeah. It's not the same.
They were pretty long in the
Long.
beginning.
If you had like if you were first up and we were shooting on a far location, there was a slight chance that you may have to wait for the ride home. So those would probably be a little bit long. I mean, sometimes we were like a 12-hour minimum, sometimes 15.
Yeah, 15, 16 hours, and with a breaking turnaround
But they're pretty
loads
good
of
with
the time.
organizing it and shooting us out.
Yeah, I did a long day on Good Will Hunter because I was working with a little kid, and by the end of the day, he got really, really tired, so the lines weren't coming out right, and we kept retaking and retaking. I think that day was about 16 hours.
Yeah.
No complaints, though.
No, there was also a lot of trailer time too, and a lot of downtime, so don't feel bad for us.
Yeah. Hello. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness, the majority of our shooting was bloopers, and they just put them in there anyway.
Pretty much. Wow.
And costume things, oh my goodness, my headpiece was so heavy and horrendous, and I wanted to take it off all the time, and then, but you have to put it on really precise, so it was always in all different angles, and oh.
We were literally one big fat joke the entire time. We really, really were. I don't think, did you guys take us seriously?
Never.
No. So no one took us seriously. We didn't even take ourselves seriously. Right?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I mean, they were good though. They're memorable costumes, but yeah, difficult to wear.
But your
were.
headdresses were pretty badass.
They were, I know, my headdress was totally badass.
Yeah, but mine weighed like 40 pounds, and I had to wear it all day long. I think I would have rather wore spandex, to be honest.
Strong neck muscles, yeah.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
Cricket.
Blonde or brunette? I was blonde for ages, but I'm obviously, my eyebrows, I'm naturally a brunette, so brunette.
Mm-hmm. Shayna.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
I know that James and Frank wasn't able to come in that crossover with SPD.
Yes.
And I know you were replacing him for a little bit. How did it feel?
Replacing him?
Well,
I think they're recording here. Let's get this story right. Yeah, are you talking about when I voiced this character? Yeah. What was the question? It was, yeah, no, you know what? We were doing the table read, and the season before, when Jason had to go back to LA for a little while, at the table reads, I would just be reading his character. So when we went back to do the team up with SPD, they asked me if I wanted to do it because I was just reading for him at the table read again, and it was just all fun. And they just asked me to read, and since I only worked for like one day that team up, I was like, why not? Let's do this, you know? It'll be fun. I wouldn't want anyone else doing his voice anyways. You know, I love him too much to let that happen. Mm-hmm. Jason, I hope you watch this. I love you, man. It's the speed round, everyone. It's the speed round.
Oh, go on, guys.
Together? All of us together?
We'll just sit back and watch.
We'll do the split, yeah? We could do that. Yeah?
All of them.
Pretty much after the first couple of episodes, just you girls just say something, do whatever you want. We did a lot of our own stuff.
Yeah. They didn't bother scripting anymore.
They didn't actually. It just said Mara and Capri, enter. And then we would just go
and then
from
do
there.
whatever you do, and then scene over.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hi.
Well, no, because I went to drama school for 3 years before I did Power Rangers, so we learned how to do accents there. But, you know, I grew up with American pop culture, so even to get into the school that the drama school I went to, I did a monologue from Good Will Hunting, you know, I did one from Pulp Fiction, so I got the American accent down pretty quickly while I was a kid, because I'd recite movies, American movies all the time, so it was fairly easy for me to switch.
And for me, I used to be the Queen of the Amazons in Hercules and Xena. So I'd done mostly, all my work had mostly been American. So I'd had, yeah, loads of time in the accent. Young Hercules. I was the Queen of the Amazons. And who said that? Yeah, young Hercules. Young Hercules, Hercules and Xena, warrior princess. Young Hercules when I was with Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling, yeah. We kissed. We kissed. Like, I mean, it was on set and I was paid for it, but still, we're just like that. He was amazing. Ryan Gosling was a very, very cool guy. He was straight out of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse when I met him. He was 18 and he was clearly gifted and talented and generous and really funny and very cute too.
And you kissed him.
And I kissed him more than once.
All right, should we?
Yeah, I think we're live.
I do. I'm always the guy with the camera, so I'm never in photos. He doesn't even know how to use it. Just press the red button, Kevin.
No, but it's not focused.
Come on,
it's
Ethan
blurry.
James.
The phone's not even on.
Oh, there we go. That's a good.
Should we set up and do this more?
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey guys, we really appreciate you being here because, in all honesty, we probably wouldn't be here without all your support.
Yes.
Exactly.
So
thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you
think
guys
for
so
this
much.
weekend, every single one of you is my hero. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Or just come and give Kevin a hug. He loves hugs.
This is true.
See, I'm not lying. I'm not playing.
All right, so someone asked for a morph.
Morph away.
Yeah, woohoo!
Wow. Do it on the chair, Scott. Yeah, come over, guys.
I don't.